These are the Tarot and Oracle forecasts for the month of November 2018. They have a look at the broad energies, the overarching energies that will touch on most of your lives in some way or another, most likely. It could tell the entire story or not. So if you'd like a personal or private reading, or that incredible soulmate reading, or even to subscribe to the weekly heads-up readings for your star sign, they're very affordable. Please go to the website. The links will show in the box below. Aries, we're going to start with your relationship reading. We will then move on to a success reading and finish up with your happiness reading. Relationship reading applies to any important relationship. Despite the fact that I've used the romance angel cards, it can also just be a really good partnership of the platonic kind or business kind even. It's just that close connection you have with somebody. So now the angel card you get is it's safe for you to love. On the card it says open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Religious factors. The next card says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. The last romance angel card is chemistry, and that says there's a strong magnetic attraction here. The tarot card you get from this particular deck says it's number 11, and it's emotion versus intellect. Apologies, I had to interrupt your video for a moment there. There were millions of squirrels today running around chasing each other. I think there's rain coming and it makes them excitable. Okay, so emotion versus intellect is a rather beautiful card. It actually has the prettiest imagery on it. Little hearts and filigrees and the lion, and it is a water card, this particular card, and it speaks about the meeting point of emotion and intellect. In other words, emotion is our compass in life. It tells us what we don't like, it tells us what we don't like. It tells us what we're doing that feels right. It tells us when we're doing things that don't feel right. That's its compass for us as such in life. Intellect is that which steps in and then says, well, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that, maybe this will make you feel better. Sometimes the two can war with each other. We all go through that most of our lives, I think, most of the time. And sometimes they meet. Sometimes the emotions will tell you when something is not feeling right or good, and the intellect will come up with a good solution. And this is one of those months, it would seem, especially where relationships are concerned. So if you're in an established relationship, this is the month where you can open up to your partner. It's safe to do so. You possibly have old relationship dynamics that play out in your relationship due to old belief system of yours because you've been hurt and disappointed in the past, as far back as childhood, as far back as other lifetimes. And this month you have the potential to reignite that chemistry in your relationship by looking at those sort of knee-jerk reactions you have in your relationship that you can possibly find alternatives to, or even think, oh, well, I actually don't need to do that anymore. I'm not as, what can one say? You're not as easily hurt by things anymore. You actually have a way of dealing with things on a different level, on a more intellectual level, rather than just an emotional response to it, that kind of thing. I am so distracted by the squirrels, people. They actually climb the cactuses as well, which is like really strange. But don't worry, even if I'm distracted, the messages will still come through. Probably they come through more clearly then, I think. For those of you looking for partnerships and relationships, this month of November is that time when perhaps the yearning for somebody is balanced by a sort of intellectual response to realizing that in order to sort of call in or draw in the kind of person that you want, that you feel that ping of chemistry with, and chemistry is not just a physical thing. It's also that ping of minds that meet, not just physical bodies that meet, but the minds that meet too. That can make for real chemistry. And if you want to draw someone like that in this month, it's quite possible. You need to open your heart first. In other words, you have to be willing to be vulnerable, right? But you are also capable in the month of November at looking at some of your belief systems that have perhaps been preventing that kind of person from coming into your life. So one can make, I think, great strides in the emotional sector for Aries in the month of November. Right, now we have a look at the success cards. This can apply to any area of your life. It can be your relationships even. It can be your career life, your project life, your family life, your spiritual life. The Messenger of Earth says in November, your best course of action, you're going to probably be choosing this if these cards are coming up, is persevering with grit and integrity, this card says. The Nine of Water says you see wishes coming true in the month of November, especially with goals and objectives. You definitely see wishes coming true there. The Seven of Water says that it's like pie in the sky and castles in the air and dreaming about things that seem impossible. But November, there's this potential for that to happen. And it's a time to think like that. It's a time to dream like that. It's a time to be sort of more flexible and more open to what can happen in life, not to be rigid, the card says. Be open to even unbelievable things coming to you in the month of November. If you keep that sort of energy going, that thought going, your heart open to that, I think there can be dreams fulfilled in the month of November. And then you get the tarot card, which is choice, 0. You see the 3 archways in that card that you can step through, and they are all your choices. I think what's interesting about that card and being 0 and called choices, this is the time when you step into a new story, but it's your choice. You can step through that archway into the same story and keep repeating the same story. You can step through that archway. The second choice would be perhaps emotionally reacting to something and you get a story which was not quite what you had in mind. Or you can step through that story with that balance of emotion and intellect, and you can have a dream fulfilled. You can step into a brand new story for your life. Now your happiness cards, which is your tea leaf fortune telling cards. In other words, these are the fated elements that come into your life in November to do with as you see fit. You get Sun, which is happiness and well-being. You get the Teapot, deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Dark Woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. The Wheel says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. The Mountain Road says you're on the road to success. The Yoke says feeling tied down or frustrated. And the Bell says announcement. And your White Lion leadership card is that of spiritual evolution. Let's start with the White Lion card. I usually finish up with that, but this is the point of, or the pivotal point in your month and your life at the moment. Spiritual evolution says something does occur in the month of November, which is a bit of a drama. And as it unfolds, do your best to see what is actually happening. Do your best to learn the life lesson here, and you will never need to repeat this again. I've seen that. We've seen that coming through in your reading, haven't we? It's about a heart situation. It's about a relationship, some kind of relationship. And you are perhaps repeating a story over and over again. And in November, you get the potential. You get the energies are there for you. They're available and supportive for you to actually learn finally the lesson, or to meet the intellect and emotion perfectly so that you can step through this and not have to go down that same path again. Your first card, which tea leaf card, which is happiness and well-being, ultimately the month of November can bring you that. There is the potential for having that. There's a good friendship with someone of the same sex. It's a dark-haired woman, possibly. You feel as if you're spinning aimlessly. You feel tied down and frustrated. But you are slowly but surely climbing that road of success to the top. And by the end of November, there will be some kind of announcement which changes life. You're going to have to see in December what exactly that is going to be. Right, very interesting reading for you, Aries, for the month of November. And there's definitely potential here for a major evolutionary change in your life. You can shift your life in November so that you are walking and talking a new story in the month of December, or it'll start at least in the month of December. Right, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you would like a personal private reading, I'm just going to repeat again, or that amazing soulmate reading, please contact me via the links in the description box below. You can either email or go to the website and book or purchase a reading. I want to thank you for watching, listening, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And also to those of you that are sharing my videos, a very, very special thank you. I truly appreciate it.